Hello, welcome to the Black Salt Mirror. I will be doing a tarot and oracle reading for you today. There's something good in the air today, something relaxing and happy. So if you're seeing this, whenever you see this, and you feel that something is positive in your life, then this is your confirmation that things are going well. I will start with a little cryptid oracle in my tin. And I don't know that I have the guidebook for this, so we're gonna see if we recognize the cryptids in question. But there have been a lot of ghost stories going around. If you guys haven't seen the stories from Appalachia, I've been following them for a while, but they're on my mind, which means, and then of course I don't draw an Appalachian cryptid. This is Nessie. Longevity, and she's got a little heart here. What I did come across yesterday was the stories of waterways and how in many different cultures, Nessie, I believe, is from the United Kingdom, but it's not exclusive. What I was going to say is many different cultures believed that all water had an associated spirit with it who had their own personality and who needed to be addressed before crossing the water and usually given something. Apparently the Roman legions, even as the kids always show up when I start to record. The Roman legions would regularly leave offerings to the water entity before they crossed. Back during the Roman Empire, it was just standard practice. And Nessie, Loch Ness, the loch was where she lived, and she was one of these entities. And that hasn't changed just because people don't observe it anymore. The next card underneath is the Loveland Frogman. I don't know where that is. However, it says magic on the bottom, and there are lemniscate in his eyes. I'm guessing that this is an American thing because of the sparkler. And the Loveland Frogman sounds kind of like an American cryptid. But I was telling you this story about the waterways and their associated spirits, and the Loveland Frogman with his lemniscate were looking up at me, like the Strength card. And the lemniscate means that things never die. It's never ending, it's just cycles around the figure 8. So maybe you're coming across some very old beliefs or practices, or you have some coming down through your family, or maybe even the spirits and ancestors you've begun to interact with who are associated with your family. And you're realizing that there's a lot of magical potential that you could tap into because no one's been honoring these guides and spirits. And maybe you even have people in your life who suffer strings of bad luck and they don't know why. And you're seeing a pattern with their behaviors and not honoring the nature spirits. It's very interesting. I never know what's going to come out in a reading, but sometimes I'm very surprised at the kind of things and how it always ties back to what's coming through like in the rest of my day as I read things and talk to people, and it's like the message is passively coming through constantly. The 9 of Cups. That is correct. And it is because, if you are seeing this here with me, you have stepped into a wish fulfillment. I almost never read that card this way. However, you notice the peacock feather here, single peacock feather coming out of his head. Peacocks will shed those feathers on their own. You don't have to pluck them because they're birds, and those particular feathers are mostly decorative. It's the males that grow them, and as many bird species, it's to attract the females. The Page of Rods in reverse. Speaking of attracting females, this is a young one calling off into the mountains. However, in reverse, you are past that point. What they're saying here is you have accomplished something. You put in a lot of effort. I'm getting this as you as a younger person, and I'm particularly drawn to the sun on his medallion here. You had a lot of zeal in youth for these traditions, and you put an effort to it. And maybe the people around you didn't notice, but the spirits noticed, and they want to bring you a gift because you peacocked for them. That's what they're saying. It was an honor, though. They enjoy. The spirits want to be recognized. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Rods, both in reverse. The Knight of Rods is the more grown-up version of the Page of Rods. Once you've kind of mastered your craft and moved out. And the Seven of Swords is some sort of betrayal, some sort of sneaky behind your back maneuver. And the Knight of Rods has a dragon on his helmet here. They've been protecting you from people who would do you wrong, who would use you. And they want to protect you again. They're saying, we're coming to you now to warn you about something that we're going to protect you from, that you need to be vigilant about, because you didn't forget them. And if you are, I think this is a smaller percentage of people that this message is for, but if you're trying to do something sneaky yourself, they will help you. The Two of Cups in reverse. The only thing that's come out upright so far is the Nine of Cups. There's a bad deal coming through. Or maybe they're trying to warn you off of a person, potentially a romantic interest. It could also be someone that you've been with romantically that you're trying to get away from. Both of those are coming through. So they're either saying if you've just met somebody, it's not a good match, they don't like them. And if you're with someone and you're trying to leave, call upon them. They will help you get out. Let me get the air. The air conditioning has been coming on pretty regularly the past few days that I've been recording, despite the fact that it's cool outside. So I had done a reading a few days ago about distractions coming through as you're on the right path. And this is part of the message that they wanted me to deliver to you, these physical reminders, that the more that your guides and spirits are trying to help you, more distractions. I don't know if you guys can hear the kids, but they're happy today, like what I said in the beginning. The distractions and the noise are coming through lately because your spirits are being more present and helpful. And the noise is to try to drown them out. It's to try to get you to think that maybe those aren't the helpful ones, maybe those aren't your people, maybe this one is. They're adding extra voices, they're adding more static to make it harder for you to stay the course that you know you're meant to be on. And the card that I pulled right before I popped up to the air conditioning was the Ace of Pentacles once again in reverse. The more cards I draw in reverse, the more that Nine of Cups stands out upright as a wish fulfillment. The lilies here are going to be significant to somebody. They are for me. I've got them, where are they? Here with the lion. Although these look like a different type of lily. they've said this before, there's nothing new coming or that you need to do. You are on the course already. And it's a matter of staying it and very slowly, methodically, and gently unraveling, they're saying. Kind of like on a boat that's been pushed off and it's slowly drifting forward. You don't have to do anything to get it to continue to drift forward. What you do have to do is make sure that nothing knocks it off course, that nothing causes you to redirect where it's going, that nothing causes you to think you need to stop or slow down or jump out for any reason. It's only always a matter of staying. The other two decks I have are the Lenormands. Although the last time the clearest message that came from this deck was a Lenormand message. These are always read upright, so that won't matter. We'll go with this is the Reflected Lune. It wants 3. 25, the ring. More moon imagery. Mice is 23, which I know is usually chewed wires, like communication issues. Mice aren't a positive thing, as much as I love them. 24, I believe this is the heart. What's this? The scythe is on the bottom. I think this wants to come out too. Interesting symbolism. Although I will read what they say here for your curiosity. I guess most of you don't know Lenormand. 25, the ring. Oops, that's the French side. Union, commitment, contract. And then the mice is severance, right? Theft, reduce, small losses. That's what they were talking about here. The severance of a contract. Heart is 24. Love, harmony, tenderness is on the other side, so it's straddling. And then 10 is the side, cutting away, speed, loss. It's reiterating the message that I said about someone in your life. This reinforces the idea that it's someone that you're getting away from, although it could reinforce the idea that it's someone you need to sever yourself from. But the mice, the imagery that I always remember about them is chewed wires, because mice chew through things. And the ring is a commitment, and the heart, I mean, those are pretty straightforward imagery for the Lenormand. It doesn't have quite the symbolism that the tarot does. If you think you need to cut away from someone or something, do it. Any kind of commitment. They're saying, this is your confirmation to do it. Or if there's messages coming through about some kind of commitment with someone, you should know what kind of relationship it is in your life that this applies to. And if you're here, you should be intuitive to know why this message is coming through and what lack of clarity that you had that they're trying to help you with here in saying, no, we're sure you don't want that. Don't go into it or get away from it, depending on how far you are in. And it's a wish fulfillment. I think for a lot of people, it's getting away from a bad situation that you've been in a long time, like a marriage. And the spirits are going to help you sneak out the back. It's pretty straightforward. And it's because of your dedication to them and your long history with them. And they are paying back the kindness you've given to them. I'm curious how many people this resonates with. This is very specific. And I don't think there's anything else that's going to come through. So I'll leave it there. And I wish you well. You're a part of our family here. I love you, and I'll see you very soon.